Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for watching. We're here today to address a topic that is a very sensitive one, but one that is more common than most people would ever think about. This is a topic that we get a lot of questions on, we get a lot of calls about, and what we have found is that there's a lot of misconception around this area and perhaps even more shaming around this area. So we thought that the best way to kind of break the ice for you and bring it to life is to have my brother Michael tell you his own story in this area. And so we're gonna be doing something a little different today. So I'm gonna be asking him a couple questions that will help sort of teach you guys about the reality around ED. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Let's do this.
So tell us, at what age were you struck with this condition?
So first real experience was at 18 with my girlfriend. I experienced one time and that left me lightly traumatized. But when I really began to experience ED was around the age of 22 years of age, where it was evident there was something going on because I could not get an erection.
Okay. And so for you guys watching, 22 years old, I mean, this is where you're supposed to be.
At the peak of my prime, of my masculinity, and no, that's not what I was experiencing.
And I know that you went to, was this something, I know that you researched a ton of it, and you read upon it, and you went to even many doctors. What were they telling you?
So yeah, after my first experience that, I couldn't perform, and I had the girl there, and she thought something was wrong with her, and it was a very, very it was probably the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me at that age. And after that, I started doing a little bit more research on ED in men, and it's approximately about 40 million men in the United States have some type of ED. I didn't really find a lot of research on men my age at that time, which was 22 years of age. So eventually I did see a doctor, and he basically told me it was all in my mind and thought I was probably depressed and tried prescribing me antidepressants, which I definitely was not willing to do that.
Right, and it's actually a very common thing, right? Antidepressants are one of the most prescribed sort of medications to sort of calm the symptoms that we may be experiencing for a number of conditions, right? It's almost like they use it as a blanket nowadays. And so, was this something that you kind of related with your friends? Was there someone that you talked to about it?
I really never spoke to anybody about it because I thought it was abnormal. And I didn't feel confident enough or comfortable enough to express that story to any of my friends because I thought I would be ridiculed or they were gonna make fun of me.
Right.
So, it was literally suffering in silence because I wanted to communicate it, I just didn't know how to.
I know you had a girlfriend at the time as well. So how did that play into the picture? How did that affect your relationship?
That affected 2-3 relationships because the ED, basically, first expression, I can always take the orange or blue pill and make a great impression. But once I would get into a relationship, I realized that I started sabotaging the relationships or pushing my partners away or excusing myself because I had to pre-plan my sex, which took the whole spontaneous aspect and thrill of the experience. So I found myself getting irritated and tired of having to plan it. So I started sabotaging the relationship to the point that I made them feel there was something wrong with them until, unfortunately, the relationship came to an end because I just couldn't face the reality of what I was experiencing.
I know that you tried chiropractic. There was muscle relaxers. There was, all kinds of stuff. I think it's good for people to know all the avenues that you tried in order to try to fix the situation.
Well, first of all, I was already in great shape, as I'm still in great shape. I always took care of myself. I always, took my health serious. That's what was so puzzling to me that, hey, here I am at the prime, yet experiencing ED. So there's obviously something wrong with me. So, after doing the research that there's 40 million men experiencing ED, I basically tried chiropractic, I did acupuncture, I tried meditation, I tried different dietary habits, I did different lab testing, and none of it was working for me.
That's important because I think that a lot of guys, you know, they're young, they're healthy, they're taking care of themselves. They're suffering with this and they don't know where to turn. And so I think that our message here today is that you are not alone.
Absolutely. At 35 going to 36, I can proudly say I fixed my issue. And yes, there are many ways to fix it. And no, this is not all in your head. I think that that's one of the things that makes us the leading provider in that sense, because this was very personal for me. And it made me realize getting into this business that, hey, how many other men are experiencing this and don't know how to communicate it, and worse, they're losing valuable, significant quality partners that they can marry and have kids with, yet they're pushing away. I think that was the biggest thing, my lesson for me, because I had really good partners, but I ended up losing them because I didn't know how to communicate the issue and to tell, my girlfriend at the time that I was having to medicate myself to have sex with her. It was impossible. I couldn't see myself doing it. And it made me think of how many more men are experiencing that and are actually living through that right now. So it became a very personal mission to help men know that there is a solution and there is a way out to naturally fix a problem, to regain your confidence. Because I can look at the camera today and tell you that I feel extremely confident, and my wife can tell you if she wants, but that I am perfectly functional. And I didn't know how much that affected my self-esteem until I found the root cause of the issue and I restored that balance, and to just have spontaneous, I don't know if I could say erections on the camera, but to have spontaneous erections again makes life so much more fun. It gives you so much more confidence, and you feel like a man, the way you should feel.
If you relate to this, any part of this, give us a call, and know that whoever you speak to is going to be someone on the other line who is going to hear you out, who is going to understand you, and someone that is not going to judge you or tell you that it's all in your head, because we all know very well the many different facets of this problem. So thank you for watching. If this is something that you can relate to, then give us a call and we'll be happy to hear you out and provide you with all the options possible so we can finally put this issue to bed. For now, stay healthy.
Thank you.